Alright, how's it going? Today I'm just going to discuss fitness experts and general social media, how people use social media for online business purposes, specifically within the health and the fitness industries. What my own personal take on it is, and where I'm going to try and take my own stuff going forward. So when it comes to online training, I think you need to understand, probably if you're watching this from the customer's perspective, how these things work, and hopefully when you go through the back end of this video you're going to be a more informed consumer. And I'll touch over some of the stuff from the coach's perspective as well, because there's funnels and stuff that you can get sucked into, where you might get sucked into a good product, you might get sucked into a bad product. So generally how it works with social media or online training, first thing people are trying to do, they're trying to catch your attention. So you'll see a lot of people will make like a minute long video. They'll deliberately try and be a bit edgy, try to be a wee bit of an edgelord. They might pretend they're different characters, they might get up in a costume. They might do a bunch of dumb shit to get your attention, because they're trying to get your attention. Generally people go online generally for two reasons. They go online to be entertained, or they go online to find an answer to the problem. So they'll maybe try it from the entertainment side of things. So people like Jim Mufu, he's basically he just fucks about, and he gets loads of likes, loads of views. He's in generally good shape, he's pretty strong, he's shredded, he does a bunch of weird shit, but his whole business model is based on attention seeking, which, to be honest, we're all in the same business. So it's not like someone, say Strength by Science, who produce like Greg Nuckolas, who produces a lot of detailed content and provides a lot of value. He's not really much better than Jim Mufu. They're just trying to do it in different ways. So his kind of niche, Greg Nuckolas' niche, kind of guys like Brett Contreras, his reach probably less so. Brett Contreras, he's a bit more populist than Greg Nuckolas, but they produce a lot of detail, crap load of detail. They deep dive on a lot of things, and they try to produce a hell of a lot of value for nothing, with the thought process, or with the hope that after having produced that value, after you seeing that content, you're going to be more likely to do business with them. Because generally people don't do business with people they don't know. So if this is the first time you've seen me talking, you're probably not going to do business with me straight off the back of seeing me online. A scenario where someone might do business with me is when they get a strong recommendation from someone they know, or they maybe get 2 or 3 recommendations from people that they know and trust. In that case, they're much more likely to go and do business with me than see me pop up online. So generally the first kind of part of this process is to grab attention, or to get in front of people. So that's generally where you get the quirky little posts, the minute long posts, the rants, things like that, just to get out in front of people. With the hope being that the more people you get out in front of, the further you can take them down the funnel. So the first part is attention. Then after attention, there's what's termed the explorative period. So maybe you see this video, you go onto my Facebook, you go onto my Instagram, you go onto my website, you check out my content, get to know me a bit more that way. And a lot of people don't leave this part. I mean, loads of people who read my website, check out my Instagram, watch my videos, who will never do business with me, and that's just the way it is. Some people, they don't have the disposable income, maybe they don't see the value proposition, so on and so forth. But so that's kind of the next level of, it's just generally like a content marketing funnel. And this is generally how online business works. So businesses that that work on this are like Juggernaut, Renaissance Periodization. They're two of the better companies, certainly within the powerlifting space, that do a really good job of the content marketing side of things. And then after the content marketing side of things, then there's consideration, so maybe you're on Juggernaut and you're looking at their club coaching, or maybe you're checking me out and you're looking at my online coaching, or you're looking at Barbell. I don't have like a lot of strata of products. I generally have bespoke training or group training in person. That's pretty much the only two products that I currently offer. Whereas someone like Juggernaut, who has a much better stratified offering, they have books, which is a low-end one-off offering. They have group coaching, like large group coaching, small group coaching, and then one-to-one online coaching, and you pretty much pay the premium as that goes. So the more attention you get, and the more individualized that you get, the more individualized the approach, the more attention that you're taking on that time, you're going to pay a bigger premium for that, because you're ultimately taking up more of that person's time. So that's how, when these people are poking up, they're trying to get your attention, and then they're trying to get you to like them. So you're going to do business with someone you like as well. So some people will turn you off, some people will turn you on, but this is generally how this whole kind of funnel works, or how this online training thing works. So where am I going with this, which is probably a pretty decent question? Well, the next thing is, when you're in the consideration period and you're thinking about buying, be wary of cheap products first and foremost. So a cheap product, so this is from my point of view, if I was to offer you, say, so my online coaching costs £100 a month. That's why I charge people for a retainer, because with the volume that I do, I have currently just over 40 one-to-one online clients. I would probably set my cap at around 50 or 60, because the time that I spend per week, that probably would, any more than that, I wouldn't be able to do justice. I wouldn't be able to get the results that I want. I wouldn't be able to provide the value that I want to my customers. But I can offer £30 a month. It wouldn't be feasible. The volume that I would require to do £30 per month with an actual bespoke one-to-one training service, I wouldn't be able to make a living. So I can't offer 30. I could maybe make an okay living at 60, but then I think my skill set is better than that. I personally think my skill set's undervalued at 100, but I think it's a pretty decent compromise for the online coaching. But I can maybe have a reasonable standard of living at 50, 60 per client if I had a good volume of clients. Then that's kind of like where I could live. So generally, I would say, if someone's offering you kind of one-to-one coaching or programming at a price point below 50 or 60 pounds per month, then there's one of two scenarios that are going to be happening. Number one, the person is brand new to the space and they're trying to build up a portfolio, they're trying to build up a client base, so maybe they could be in full-time work, they could be a personal trainer, the primary income is coming from another source, and they're providing a cheaper price point to allow them to accrue a portfolio, to accrue a client base, in which case they're new. So if someone's new to a space, you should consider whether you should work with them or not. Just because someone's new doesn't mean they're bad, doesn't mean they're good, but it should be in your thought process when you're coming into that part, you're making that decision. The next part is, if they're offering a cheap product, so it's under £50, or for any American folk that are watching, around $70, but then price of living changes. If it's under about £50 a month, then it's probably a template, and it probably is leveraged. So when something's leveraged, so I could set out, so for example, my website, Your Strongest Year, that can have umpteen, that you can have thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people on that program, because it's up on a website. I don't touch it. I've written the blocks. It's on the website for anyone to view, for anyone to use. I don't have to think about it. It takes up none of my time. It's set and forgets. So for someone who is offering you a price point under £50 a month, that means it's leverage. That means you're getting the template. You're getting the copy and a paste of the template. They probably have email funnels as well. You're probably entering into an automated delivery process, because it's the only way you can really make money through that process as a leveraged product. Now, it's not to say the product, like, some products, leverage products will be outstanding. Some leverage products will be terrible. But it's just so you understand that's where you're getting it at that price point. So that's kind of, so when it comes to online coaching, if something's very cheap, you need to ask a question, why is cheap? Because you need to derive a living from this. So the next thing is, when you're considering entering into any kind of online coaching agreement or a group coaching agreement, is, are you happy to enter business with this person? Like, what are their credentials? You need to deep dive on people. You can't just go and work with someone because it's £30 a month. For some people at that price point, you'd be probably better writing your own fucking programs. So the next thing is, you need to deep dive on the people. So I personally would be very wary of people who don't have in-depth content, people who don't produce like longer form videos, people who don't produce longer form articles, people who maybe don't enter into long form conversations. If it's someone who's just posting up minute videos of them making stupid fucking voices and trying to pretend people they're not, to have some kind of like funny conversation or to try and produce novelty, if they're always just posting or producing novelty all of the time, or if they're just posting up like screenshots and then maybe like 200 or 300 words, they're formulaic. They're trying to get out in front of people because they have some kind of mass. They're trying to leverage. So if they're trying to like get out in front of people all the time, they have a leveraged product and they couldn't give any less of a fuck about you or your progress, because they're taking a mass market approach. So it's not coaching, it's just selling someone a PDF and having enough, getting enough eyes on your posts regularly enough, and having a low enough cost of entry that they're just that you can buy that PDF. Now, some of these products will be good. Vast majority of these products will be complete and utter shit. So yeah, I guess I would be wary of anyone that's like formulaic in the way they post. If they're constantly trying to grab attention, they're trying to be quirky all the time. They're applying principles and marketing tactics to ram people through the funnel. And the more people they can get through the funnel, the more people they can get to the consideration point. And if it's a low enough barrier to entry, they'll have a decent conversion rate. And now for some products, that's you're going to get a fantastic deal. Like books by experts, some of the templates written out by some of the better people in the space, will be excellent products. But that's why I'm suggesting you should deep dive on these people before you purchase their products. So yeah, I think I'm probably going to bring that to an end there. So let's just give you a bit of an idea behind how these business models work. So as a consumer, you can appreciate what people are trying to do with their posts. And my own personal advice would be to stay away from cheap products, stay away from people who are constantly trying to be novel, stay away from people who don't have long form content out there. Because it's only through long form content that you're going to actually get an appreciation for the person's skill set. I have literally thousands of hours of me talking in front of a camera online. I have like 130 podcasts. I have literally thousands of articles. If you want to see my skill set, it's there for you to see. You can watch these videos, you can read, you can watch. I post up almost daily my clients on Instagram. I'm constantly pushing out what I do. So if you want to check up on me, you're more than welcome to do so. I would encourage you to do so. And I would encourage you strongly to check up on the results the people are getting, the knowledge that they're showing, the manner in which they're coming across. I would be very wary of people who don't come across as genuine. People who are trying to present a certain image. Now, they're doing that. So there's a certain image that's going to have mass market appeal. So if you look at TV, for instance, they're going to present themselves in a certain way, because that certain way is going to get a lot of people are going to like that. They're going to signal towards them that a lot of people are going to like that. But that sort of person's, it's not to say their product might be good, but for me it would be a red flag. Someone who isn't willing to just talk normally to you through the communication online or in person. Again, I would be wary of that personally. But this is probably over Rant, so thank you very much for watching. My name is Marquise. You're currently watching Cast Iron Strength. God bless you. If you have anything you want me to discuss, chuck it below in the comment section, slide up in the DMs. Thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.